Hey, party people, what's going on with you? It's time for Raw Talk Live. Let's get it going. Well, hello, and how do you do? It's time to get this party started. Happy Hump Day, girlfriend Peggy.
Happy hump day, girlfriend, MS.B.
How you
Happy hump
doing?
day.
You look lovely. You look so,
Queen,
you
you
know
look,
who you look like?
who?
You know who you look like?
Who?
You look like Portia.
Portia? Well,
Portia.
that's a compliment. Portia is beautiful.
You
She,
look
she,
like
she,
Portia. Y'all look like y'all from the same tribe. You look like Portia. You
well, thank
look
you for that compliment.
gorgeous.
Thank you.
Gorgeous. You look
She
beautiful.
is,
How you
she
doing?
is gorgeous, fabulous, fine, fearless. You name it. She is the boss. She is it all. She goes
Oh,
through some things and she don't mind going through them either.
hey, the out. When she makes it through to the other side, it's all gravy. It's beautiful. It's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. You're looking beautiful yourself.
Well, thank you. That's very nice of you to
Looking
say, given the
beautiful.
certain circumstances.
Yes.
Yes, darling. Yep. So, here we go. Another Wednesday night, and we have been going through for the last couple of weeks. Don't you feel like it?
We've been going what?
We've been going through. We've
Going
been
through
going through some stuff.
with this topic.
Talking. Yes, talking about
Yes.
very sensitive issues
Delicate.
and
Uh-huh.
and very delicate kind of things. And
Yes.
and sometimes it gets heated. I know I get real fired up. I get hot. And
And that's okay. Yeah,
and
you get fired up. You exactly. You get fired up, I get fired up, we get into it, and then that's what make it good.
that's right. That's
That's
right.
right.
You
That's
know,
right.
but just as a disclaimer, I just want to say I'm not trying to insult anybody, hurt anybody's feelings, or make you feel any type of way. But I am going to say what I'm going to say. Uh,
Right.
I'm like Nene. I said what I said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's not meant to offend, and if it does,
Apologize ahead of time.
yeah, I'll let you do
Well, I
that.
apologize ahead of time.
Oh, okay, thank you.
If any offenses go out, then
Yes,
I apologize for raw talk ahead of time. That's
and
the
yes,
disclaimer. Uh-huh.
yeah, because
Not intended to
that's not the intention of it. Although it may come off their way, and you know what, and everybody else is free to say whatever they would like to say too, and we put it up there, where we don't run from anything. I watch other shows and people they're not interacting with the audience for the audience to equally share in their thoughts or feelings. um it's not happening.
right.
People, it doesn't happen, but here we try to make that happen. So if you feel a particular kind of way, um then you can express yourself. So tonight we got two things that we're talking about. First of all, we've got to talk about the Dave Chappelle attack. The attack on Dave Chappelle. Um, it now is getting out of hand. I don't know. Do you think that Will Smith opened up the door for this kind of behavior now to take place?
I do. I do think he's kind of set a precedence. Um, Nobody that I know of was doing that prior to him. Nobody that I know of.
Right. No,
So
and I'm sure, look, I'm sure something has happened, maybe a long time ago or something that we've since forgotten. But this is
the
like
last so many.
this is kind of new.
Mm-hmm.
Brandy Shandon in the virtual building. Thanks, Brandy. She says, "Hey, y'all, yeah, girl, let the people know. Leave your little old feelings in the bathroom somewheres." Okay.
You got it from a raw talker. Like we said, sometimes the conversation is not for everybody. Sometimes it is. If you can hang. If you can't hang, don't hang.
Right.
We ain't mad at you. Yeah.
We're not mad at all. Listen, I did in your face hardcore talk radio for 10 years. And what we do is mild. And that was always the attitude. Don't try to change me, change the dial. That dial, will take you from the, from 88.6 to 107.9 or what. Change the dial, get Sirius radio, play your own, whatever. And it's okay. And that's not to be flip or arrogant. That's just saying, hey, people have choices. Execute your choices. And it's going to be all right, because what is for you and what is for me we will have it. There's plenty of all of it to go around for everybody. Right. There's more than enough. And so if you can't get it here, you can get it somewhere else. If you're not watching us, somebody else will. And that's the basic thing. So look, this is what happened to Dave Chappell. Oh, no, that's not the one. Sorry about that. That comes up later. Because that's a picture.
Behind me on the DJ table is one of the most prolific producers that hip hop has ever presented, the mighty Mad Lib. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for hip hop history. I am going to kill that. Wait, I gotta see this. Thank God that was clumsy. He's back there getting stomped. Where did that come from? Thank you, son. It was a trans man.
Well, that was Dave being sarcastic and funny at the end, but that's what happened. So that was 23-year-old Isaiah Lee. He's from LA, California. And he has been booked on felony assault charges. He also had a replica of an AK-47. He had a replica of a gun, which is stupid because, people they don't know if your gun is real or not. But the gun was hiding a blade. It was hiding a knife. So, who knows what was on his mind.
What was his beef?
Who knows? Now, Dave said something interesting. He said he was a trans man. And so now the transgender community is upset, because he called him that. And and he doesn't know what he is. You don't know him. You don't know what he is. Now, I noticed let me see if I have it for you. Hold on, look at me. Here. And so this is some picture that person had of themselves, with blood coming out of their nose and horns coming out of their head and all of that kind of stuff. And I thought I had put the beat up picture of him on here, but I didn't. But he's beat up. His eye was, is swollen. His nose was bleeding. They broke his arm. They stomped his ass. They whipped his natural ass, because when you do something to embarrass security, plan to get your ass whipped.
Yeah, or to harm the performer.
Right. Well, yeah. You harm it exactly. But you done skip by. It's somehow gotten by security. It doesn't look good. So they gotta teach you a lesson. They gotta teach anybody who come along. You got to learn a lesson behind this. You might, yeah. But he could have killed Dave.
He could have, because he bounced up there like a bat out of hell.
Yeah, and he hit him hard.
Full force.
He hit him hard.
Yeah, he just tackled him.
Yeah. Jane is in the building. Hey, good evening, Jane. She says millennials have a very limited self-control. She said you can just watch the news in any city in this country. She said maybe it's not just them. Maybe it's our culture. Maybe it's the American culture. Well, it is violent.
Definitely.
The American culture is violent.
Well, like I said, there's that in every culture. I mean, I don't know if we want to necessarily own that, because everybody is violent. Everybody have been violent to somebody, whether it's another, nation or
person or
whatever it is. It's violence all over the world. So I mean, we can't necessarily own that as something as a Black culture thing.
Oh, I don't know about a Black culture thing, but definitely just part of our overall culture.
Yeah, again, that's everybody. I think that's across.
Yeah, that's everybody, because white people are violent towards us.
Yes.
They overwhelmingly so. And so so everybody has their point of no return.
Again, I think it goes down to I said, we don't know what kind of influences this person was under. And just knowing how to act and behave when you go out in public. I mean, can you call it ratchet? Can you call it stupid? Can you call it what? It could be categorized as a number of things that it could have been considered, but that was just stupid. But I think he's gonna think twice before trying to do something like that again.
And that's what we say, right? Because for the most part, we are in our right mind. Okay, but you're talking about a person who clearly could not have been in their right mind.
It seemed like I was reading where he had some type of beef from prior, or something happened, before this event, and that was his chance to get revenge back on him or something.
Well,
I don't know.
Members of the transgender community are, upset about comments that Dave Chappell made in his, I think, most recent comedy special. And so, it's been, and the comments that have been made since this incident about his remark saying that, oh, that was a transgender man. They didn't like that. They're just like, hey, you done joked around about us enough, made your other comments. And the comments he made prior in his comedy special were not negative, but I don't think, but they were taken that way. And so, now there's a buildup there, there's a residue there. And you just never know how somebody's going to take something. You deliver it with one intention and they take it another way. Actually his story, the transgender story that he told was very touching, but folks didn't take it that way. And so you might have, and there's always what they call fringe people, the people on the fringe who who take things a certain way and feel a certain way. Jane says no excuses. They might be a little
trying to make a lot of, she trying to girlfriend fishing, she making a lot of excuses tonight. He just acted a fool, and like I say, somebody didn't like it, whoever it was, and they reacted on it, and it is what it is. Just like he made a split-second decision to run up on the stage and slap Chris Rock, and that's what it was. So I mean, people reacting, they just doing themselves. I don't think there's no reaction from the whole community at large. This is one person thinking this foolishness, and they react on it, and they just do what they do. I don't know. It's not so, but I mean, like I say, that community, like I say, even us trying to understand and just have discussions on whether they're born that way, whether it's something they choose to do later in life, whether we talking about the I's and the A's tonight that they added on. It's so delicate. It's so fragile. It's so tippy toe to talk about.
Yeah. It is. And so last week we talked a little bit about LGBTQ and what that means, and then we found out that in addition to the LGBTQ, there are two other letters that have been added. And the one specifically that we were going to touch on tonight is intersex, which is what the I stands for. And and it's very interesting. Somebody on my Facebook page, as soon as I posted something about intersex, they said they quoted Leviticus to me, and let me just see. She says, Leviticus 18:22, thou shalt not lie with mankind as with womankind, it is an abomination. And and then and so I responded to her and I said, being intersex has nothing to do with having sex with the same sex or with the opposite sex. Being intersex has nothing to do with the act of sex. So let's just get that straight right from the beginning.
Because I think this is where the mix-up is coming in, is that people are taking sexual orientation, sexual identity, how they identify, and their orientation, and they lumping it all together in a ball. And you think just because somebody have a specific sexual preference that you're going to lump them into a label, and they could be fluid, meaning they could switch and change and just run up from the top to the bottom, from men, women, in between, and they can just flow. They fluid.
Mm-hmm.
And if
exactly.
So like I said, if we don't have conversations and try to talk and figure this out, we tried to get some guests to come on from that community to join us, and we having a hard time getting somebody to come on and join us in the conversations. I'm thinking, hey, they can clarify some things for us. They can answer some questions. The audience may have questions that they like to ask. And so we're going to do what we do today with that.
Yeah. The person who had talked about coming on the show tomorrow is now ghosting me. Is not, not responding or whatever. And here's what I get from the people I talk to personally. They might talk with you and entertain that conversation with you on a one-on-one basis if you have enough of a personal relationship with them.
With him, yeah.
With them, okay?
Right.
But they're not interested in explaining anything to you publicly or
Right.
talking about their personal feelings or their personal lives.
Right.
Satisfying our curiosity is
Ain't
not it's not important to them.
Right. Not a part of their agenda.
It's not a part of their agenda. And
Right.
and you have so many different distinctions, like you say. Nobody wants to be lumped into one thing, and so that's why you have L is one thing, and G is something, and B is something, and T is something, and Q is something, because people just identify differently. And so then in addition to that, of course, now you have I and A. Hi, Keisha. Hi. She says, hi, ladies. The topics are good. Dave Chappell calls them the alphabet people. She said it can be very confusing, but you have to be open to listening and understanding. And thank you for that comment. I appreciate that.
Yes.
I listen, I get hot. I don't get offended, but my button does get pressed when I tell you something, and then the first thing you do to me is start quoting the Bible.
But with that, we touched on that after last week's show. We had a guest that you asked her where did she get her belief from, and she said the Bible. And then I think one of the guests said, hey, people use the Bible when it's convenient. And you say, yeah, they use it to fit the narrative. Remember, we had this conversation.
Yes.
I was like, well, this is the conversation. She didn't use it to fit the narrative. You asked her where she got her belief system from, and she told you the Bible, which is the basic fundamental belief system that most of us have gotten now, right, wrong, good, bad, indifference, reference from.
Yes.
So, people always gonna bring the Bible into any topic that you talk about. People gonna find something from the Bible to fit the narrative.
Yes.
Yeah.
They are, and that's beautiful. And I say, read the Bible, but know something else too. Take some time to do some research, and then you might say, hey, I don't need to do no research about nobody gay. I just know I don't like it. I don't like them. God said it's an abomination, and that's it. I don't need to know nothing. I don't need to know nothing else about it. It is what it is, and don't be telling me what to do. But I'm a much more open person. I'm the type of person that really, really embraces and accepts people as they are. Okay. I do it, sometimes to a fault. But that's my vibration. And so and that's how I am. Okay.
Yeah,
But some people are real cut and dry. All right. But I'm going to look at biblical part of it, and then I'm going to look at the scientific part of it. Because I don't know that you can. I'm not going to separate them. So you tell me you got it from the Bible. I say that's fine, and here's the scientific study behind that. Because you and I have respectfully agreed to disagree, that we will never, ever acquiesce or see eye to eye about it. I personally believe that people are born gay. Now, I'm not saying that everybody who engages in gay sexual activity or same-sex activity or same gender love, or that all of those people were specifically born that way. I'll give you all of the exceptions to every rule, that some people are influenced by their environment, that some people have experiences that make them decide to do something different. Some people are curious and they'll do that, and they weren't born feeling conflicted about feeling like they're a woman trapped in a man's body or a man trapped in a woman's body. I realize that everybody doesn't feel that way. But I would just lean more to the side that for the most part, you know, there's a great majority of them that were just born that way and that wasn't a choice for them. Now, how they choose to live their lives after that, knowing that that's how they feel, knowing that it's unaccepted by society, knowing that the Bible says one thing but they feel another, feeling like why would God do this to me, or I would have never chosen this for my, that they have all kinds of feelings. But I still say that there are a great percentage of people who were born gay, and for that part of it, they don't have a choice. And you, on the other hand, feel how?
I, on the other hand, feel that though they may have markers or biological imbalances or things that's DNA or put in place when they're born, I think as they grow and become who they are and they start go through say that word. I always have a hard time.
Puberty.
Yes. When they go through that and they start discovering what they like and what they don't like, then they have a choice. I believe most of the time, even though they may have feelings, some of them it's a choice that they make.
They're choosing to be gay. They're choosing to carry that out.
They're choosing to carry out the opposite of what they may appear to be. I may look like a woman, but I'm choosing to carry out the fact that I feel like a man and I'm going to live in my truth and be a man. I feel like that is a choice. So I'm kind of split because I've been doing a little reading and a little research on this thing.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of it because
yes.
I specifically researched that in depth and shared it with you so that you can understand
it is biological markers there. And specifically, I said, now I can go along 100% with the intrasex people. They are born with
intersex.
Intersex.
And no, not tra. Yeah, intersex.
Right, intersex. Okay. They have dual organs and functions and things going on in their bodies when they're born, and some of them don't even find out about that until they're way later in life. They don't always know that they were born that way with different organs and functions in them. Some of them do. They have the physical that you can see it, and then they're experiencing other things like a period or something like that, and so medically that's going to force them to go and find out what's going on, and they discover and understand about that. And it says some of them never, they can live almost their whole lives and not even know that they're that way, and choose to live a normal life. I mean, the doctor or the parents may choose what they're going to raise the child to be until the child can decide on his own. I don't want to be no little boy. I want to be a girl. I want makeup and shoes and wigs and lashes on.
Right.
So yeah, that's like where the choice comes in, huh?
Yeah, because I don't feel like a boy.
Right.
In
that case, like I say, they are born that way. Yeah, dual. They are born dual. But I feel like for a lot of the others who are clearly born male, clearly born female.
How clearly is it though? You really don't know how clear it is.
Yeah,
you don't know what they got going on
down there. Right. We don't know what's going on with people inside. But what I'm saying, from just looking at a person and they know that they have penises, they were probably raised as a little boy. And then like I say, I believe it's at a certain point they decide, hey, I like boys. I like this little boy. I'm attracted to him. And then as they get older, I want to have sex with a man. I want to have sex with boys, not girls. So I believe that's when the choices start kicking in.
And I think long before sex is even a question to them, it's a feeling of being attracted to somebody. You don't even know that you're attracted. You don't even know about sex. You just know that you that you feel a particular way about a little boy or a girl. And my litmus test to anybody is, when did you choose to be heterosexual?
Right. And this says people don't decide who they're attracted to, and therapy, treatment, or persuasion won't change a person's sexual orientation. You also can't turn a person gay. For example,
Right.
exposing a boy to toys traditionally made for girls, such as dolls, won't cause him to be gay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And see, that's external stuff, you know.
Okay.
So if he likes that, that's something that's going on inside of him.
You can't turn him that way just because he is exposed to dolls and lipstick or makeup or whatever it is as they get older. It goes further to say you probably started to become aware of who you're attracted to at a very young age. This doesn't mean that you had sexual feelings, just that you could identify people you found attractive or that you liked. Many people say that they knew they were lesbian, gay, or bisexual even before puberty. Although sexual orientation is usually set early in life, it isn't at all uncommon for your desires and attractions to shift throughout your life. This is called fluidity. Many people, including sex researchers and scientists, believe that sexual orientation is like a scale with entirely gay on one end and entirely straight on the other end. Lots of people would be not on the far ends, but in the middle, somewhere in the middle.
Most people are somewhere in the middle.
That range.
So that range. I agree with that. Jane says, look at Bruce Jenner after all those years and trophies. Wow. Yeah, we talked about him last week. You know, how long did he know that and feel that way? And what a torture that must have been for him all his life, to live as a man and always feel like a woman. One of my closer friends told me, she said, when she was a little girl, she realized that there were certain female movie stars that she was attracted to. You know, she didn't know that attraction meant that she was gay. She didn't know. Oh, that's that. You know, she just knew that. I can remember being a little girl, being 5, 6 years old, and knowing that I liked this little boy. But I didn't know that made me heterosexual. I just like this little boy. Still like him to this day. Same little boy. But so they don't know. They don't know. They feel how they feel. Yeah, and she said he is very comfortably continuing as a woman. He made the full on change. So this is hard to see, but this is the definition of intersex, because I wanted to make it clear to that person. She was so ready to talk about what an abomination is, and had no clue, absolutely no idea of what the definition is. Okay. But was ready to condemn, hit somebody over the head with the Bible. Ready to throw them in the lake. And I'm saying, look, if there's a lake to go in, we all going. Because if I had $1 for every time I ate a piece of pork, and that is an abomination. It said the Bible, there's abominations in just about every chapter of the Bible. Deuteronomy, Proverbs, Ezekiel, 2 Kings, Leviticus, and Proverbs is full of it. If you claim a false balance, it's an abomination. If you tell a lie or do something wicked, it's an abomination. Okay. The abominations abound, and we're all guilty. I like to eat catfish. Catfish doesn't have any scales. It's an abomination. Eating crab, lobster, shrimp, all commanded by God for you not to eat it because it's filthy, it's dirty, it's an abomination. So when you get ready to tell me about somebody being an abomination, and you just left the juicy crab,
or all you can eat seafood, right?
Get thee behind me, Satan. That's all I got to say to you. So with intersex people, these people have bodies that are just a little different. About 98% of human bodies match up with the two paths of sex development that we learn about in sex ed. You're either a boy or a girl. But intersex bodies are extra creative. Right. They have natural differences in their genitalia, their chromosomes, their gonads, their internal sex organs, their hormone production and response, and or secondary sex traits, such as how we grow our breasts or body hair. Some intersex differences are at birth. And you can see it. You'll see it at birth that the penis is looking a particular way or the vagina looking a particular way. And parents are under pressure. The doctor's under the pressure of saying, is this a boy or is it a girl?
Right.
Which is so.
And they used to have to make a call, right?
Yeah. And you have to make a call. Now we've got a law in place that says you no longer have to declare the sex of the gender of your child at birth. You can wait a while and see what
about 4 shows ago.
So it says some of these differences are at birth, and this puts a risk in the medical system that can still recommend elective surgeries to normalize the infant's genitalia to satisfy the parents. So now you done went down there and tinkered with this person's genitalia, not knowing what's going to happen. Because what's really going to happen is not going to show itself for real until puberty sets in. Right. So this practice originates from a historical fear that intersex bodily differences means that a person will grow up to be gay or transgender. But intersex people can have any gender and sexuality just like anybody else. Right. They still have to fight against their bodies, their bodily integrity being taken from them. Leave my parts alone. You don't know. And just because you are intersexed does not by any means mean that you are gay.
Right.
Not at all.
That's right. It's not until you decide who you're attracted to, what you like, how you like it, who, when, and how. That's the way, like I said, it comes into them making a choice once they understand love, once they understand sex, once they understand intimacy, once they understand that concept of
love,
what we do.
Right.
Doing what you do with the person you love. Some people say nowadays, I love who love me. It ain't got a damn thing to do with whether you intersex, or if you are gay, lesbian, bi, trans, done made the transformation or whatever. I love who love me. So
look, I have a list this long of gay friends who fall into every category.
Right.
Okay. And in speaking with one of them, she is married to a transgender female. Her husband was a female at birth, but is now making the physical transition into being the man that she's always felt like, during the hormones and all of that stuff to become fully a man.
Mm-hmm.
but she will tell you that she herself is not gay.
Mm-hmm.
She says, I'm not gay. I love this man. I love a
He
man.
turned into a woman. Okay.
No. It's a
Oh.
woman changing into a
Oh,
man.
the woman changed it to the man. Okay.
So she loves her man.
Yeah.
That's her man.
Right.
And she respects him as a man because that's how he feels.
Mm-hmm.
He's always felt like a man. He moved like a man.
He's a man.
He's a man.
Right.
So to her, their relationship is not a gay relationship. Okay. And somebody else said to me, oh, well, I say it's gay. Or they'll say, if you're a female and you have sex with another female, you're gay. Or, if you're
right?
bisexual, then you're gay. And I say, you can't say that somebody is gay until they say they're gay. So, you can look at these two people in their marriage and see them, and then you just decide right away, oh, they're gay.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Because
and they don't identify as gay. They don't feel that. She doesn't feel that. She would tell you no, that that's not the case. But people who are intersex have all kind of things going on. The article that we got this from came out of Teen Vogue, and if you Google intersex, then you'll see it. It's 9 different young people talk about how they found out that they are intersex. And you see, that's an indication right there of the confusion. When you're going all along, as a little girl, but now puberty sets in and your sisters grow a size double D breasts, but your breasts don't grow. And then you start to get thick, prickly hairs on your face, and you're not, you're
legs and chest, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're not having a cycle. You don't have a period, and then you find out, that you don't have those parts. That the parts that are up inside of you are male parts, and you might have male parts in you, but you present your outer appearance looks like a female, but inside everything in there is male, and so. And when you hit puberty, instead of you growing breasts and getting curvy hips and all of that stuff, your voice changes. You stop sounding like a little girl. Now you're starting to sound more like a boy or a man. And now puberty hits. Now you have an Adam's apple, and you didn't have that before. So that's what intersex is. It's not about the act of sex. It's about how you were born, what happened in the womb, because all kind of every manner of thing you can imagine can go wrong in the womb. And people like to say, well, God don't make no mistakes. Well, of course God doesn't make any mistakes. But people come, however it happens in the process of making the baby. Sometimes people come out blind, some people come out deaf, some people come out mute, some people come out with a cleft palate, some people come with cerebral palsy, multiple sclerosis, muscular dystrophy, all of those. And if you think that something can't also be confused or get jumbled up or go wrong in the process of determining your sex and your sexuality, you're sadly mistaken, because it can.
Right. It says here, they used to, the doctors back in the day, they used to have to make a call. The doctors in the family would decide if the child was going to be a male or female, and sometimes they would choose the gender, and then they would sometimes choose surgery, okay, for that child. But now, since activisms, people have stepped in, and people who are intersex have stepped in, and they say that they say it is not regarded as a medical problem, instead of a natural, healthy way.
Mm-hmm.
It's natural, healthy way these people are born when they got different organs and things going on with them. It's naturally healthy. That's the way God created them, unique and differently. And like I said, I'm just coming into the knowledge of intersex people over the last week or two when we discussed the LGBTIA. And I said, well, what is the IA for? And that was the first time I really heard about these people. And it's 1 to 2 out of every 100 are born that way.
Right. So that means there are millions
of them out there.
Yes, millions.
And
You
we
know,
don't know them. We standing next to them every day.
Huh?
I said, we don't know them. They standing next to us every day.
Right.
And how you gonna know? You don't know.
You don't know.
They
you
just
don't know
look a little, maybe a little funny. Look, maybe she looked like a woman, but she talked like a man, or maybe he looked like a man and act like a, the vice versa. We don't know.
We don't know
how they were born that way.
And they might present, they might look like a man and do everything else like a man, and have a period. You just don't know.
Stop doing all those surgeries because they said that these people, these children, these babies that are born that way, no more surgeries and all that therapy and treatment or hormone this and that are being given to these children. They say once the babies grow, they are able to decide and choose for themselves when they're older what treatment or surgery they want to have.
Yes.
They want it to be an individual decision, not the parents, not the doctors. My choice. Once I know what's up, which way I'm trying to roll, which way I'm trying to flow, if I want to stay just the way I am. Again, that's why I keep saying it goes back to a choice.
And I think when you get old enough to make a choice, but it's a choice. But just like those people didn't have a choice or a say in their biological makeup, I think there are millions of gay people who are, who are that because they too didn't have a choice because of what happened to them biologically, chemically in the womb in that process. And then after you get to be of a certain age, then you determine which way you want to go and how you want to carry yourself. But, all I know is that as a heterosexual, I didn't choose to be heterosexual. I acted on how I felt. I see this boy, he's cute to me. I like, and I don't feel that way about a female. So that choice was already made.
That's not to say we're going to find females attractive. I see beautiful women all the time. And I don't have a problem giving a woman a compliment. Girl, you fly. You beautiful. You pretty. You fabulous, awesome. Whatever it is. Yes, compliment each other. We compliment each other all the time, but there's no sexual attachment attached to that.
No.
That's just recognizing that you're a beautiful woman. You got it going on. You know what I'm saying?
Because you don't feel that way.
Now,
but
that don't mean exactly. That don't mean I want to sleep with you. But then again, there are some that will compliment you and want to holler at you because they do want to connect with you in a sexual way.
Right.
So it's just
because they're lesbians, or they're bi, and that's fluid. Or they're fluid, So that's what they want to do. But I dare say that parents of gay children, if you could talk to them, if they would tell you, they would say that they noticed that about their child as a 2 or 3 or 4 or 5-year-old. I know they do because I know them. And I've watched them try to not make this child be that way. They think that they can, like you say, somehow do something to discourage that particular proclivity that they have. And it might not even be it might just be the way he or she talks or walks or whatever, all of the affectations, and they're doing it and they have no idea. And there's some that'll tell you that they knew, when they were little, that was that way, or that they felt that way. Another close friend of mine has a nephew, and she knows that he is gay. They've known it since this boy was a little boy. A little boy. They saw the they recognized the behavior, and he didn't have anybody hurt him or molest him and influence him in that way. They recognize it. He doesn't even know it.
Right.
He doesn't even know it. He's not old
They're not
enough to
aware,
know
right.
it. He doesn't know, but
Right.
they know. And so they're extra protective of him. They're very protective about where he goes. It ain't no spending the night out with nobody, and that type of thing. They want to keep that. They don't want anybody to hurt him, hurt his feelings, or take advantage of him sexually,
Right.
because they know how people are. And I'll tell you, my grandbaby, because she and I were friends, we would do things and take the boys, so that was her nephew and my grandson, and and so we would plan activities for them or take them certain places, or or whatever. And there was a distinct recognizable difference in the way they played together. My grandson was very, masculine, aggressive, basketball, football, whatever. Not to say that they're not gay people who play football. Look, I'm not that naive. Okay. But what I'm saying is he just demonstrated a lot of, masculine tendencies. And so now the other little boy, I remember this. He took a bunch of rubber bands. You know how you get those multicolored rubber bands in a little package, and they're all different kind of shapes and everything. And he took those rubber bands and he chained them together, and he made himself a bracelet with a ring, and then it had a long thing here and it's attached, and he made a bracelet, and he wanted to wear that, and he made one for my grandson, and my baby looked at that. He said, "I'm not wearing that. I don't want that."
Right.
He ain't choosing to be anything. He just like, hey, I'm not wearing no pink and the multicolored. I'm not doing it.
Right.
Okay. And so they were different. So they know. I'm just saying it happens young, and maybe not to everybody all the time, most definitely. But I think it's part of them that they don't get to choose. I think they're born that way and they don't get to choose. Now you can say, okay, I'm gay, and I feel like it doesn't the Bible says it's an abomination, so I just won't be with anybody. You can make that choice. But if you make a choice to live in your truth and love who you love, and it happens and you're a man who feels like a woman and the other person happens to be a man, then you just do it, and you can't worry about what anybody else says. And at that point, yeah, you do make a choice. I just don't think initially you have a choice. So there you go. Let me see if
I got allergies kicking in, my nose running, and I'm just kind of sitting up here, my eyes red and watering, and I'm looking kind of lackadaisical. I'm trying to hang in there.
Well, you're doing a good job. Listen, you're doing a good job. You look beautiful. But so Peggy and I live on opposite ends of the spectrum, but we can come in the middle and say, hey, look, I respect your your thoughts and opinions.
Exactly.
And everybody's thought and opinion is is worthy to be heard.
Right.
It's
Absolutely.
yeah, it's worthy to be heard. I'm just saying, uh let's be kinder and gentler. You want to quote the Bible, judge not lest ye be judged.
And what
So
else
I
you have
won't
for that?
judge.
And
I
people
won't
judge
judge
all the
you
time.
for eating every crab in town, and don't judge me for eating me a fried rib. Because baby, have you ever had a rib fried with some 40 weight gravy on it? You haven't lived your life until you got you some good fried pig.
No,
and
I
and
have. I haven't had any of those them chicken macaroni and cheese chicken wings.
no, but we're gonna go do that. When I come down there, when I hit Florida, we're gonna go do that. Somebody told me
Yeah.
that that's what they serve over there at Bloodhound Brew on Kirkman and Conroy. That they got something called macaroni and cheese wings, which thank God are not an abomination. And so, we can go eat them. But
Yeah. Want
listen,
to
I
try
love
them?
me a big old shrimp, a prawn. I want to eat it all. Lobster, everything, but it's an abomination. It's like eating a roach or something, which is also an abomination to eat crawly things. Uh,
What? Eat what?
to eat creeping, crawling
Oh,
things.
uh,
Okay,
like
we don't do
frogs and
that,
alligator meat and all that stuff like that.
huh?
Like frogs and
No, no, no.
alligators.
I mean like bugs. I mean things that that creep on all fours, or like bugs. Like how the other people in other countries, they eat chocolate coated ants and
Uh-huh.
you know all of that nonsense. Good evening.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Tailor Made Creations. Welcome to the fray. We're about to wrap this thing up today. So yeah, so that's what intersex is, and that's our take on that. And then of course, the A in LGBTQIA is for asexual people who they just don't care.
Asexual people are people who don't care about sex,
They
who not
don't care
having
about
sex,
sex.
who not trying to have sex, who haven't had sex probably, and they just tra la 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 alone.
Yeah, they don't have that, whatever it is.
No urge, no need for it, no want for it,
Mm-mm.
no desire.
Oh, I know you were working, honey. It's okay. That is so sweet.
Who was
Um,
that?
that's Kim.
Okay.
Uh-huh. And
Yeah.
yeah, Tailor Made Creations bringing
Yeah.
us Jewels on Purpose at the end of this month on Saturday, May 21st. And that's for women. That's where we get together and love on each other this year. It's all about it's your season to blossom is the theme for this year's luncheon of Jewels on Purpose. And so you can go to eventbrite.com and get your tickets. It is always a lovely, inspiring, heartfelt event. You don't leave feeling the same as you did when you came in. So we invite you to go there and find out more about it and get your tickets. And also, if you would like to be a vendor, you can go to I am tailor made at gmail.com, I believe, if I got that right. Let me see. Yeah, you can become a vendor by going to I am tailor made Inc. I am tailor-made Inc. at gmail.com. Listen, this is a fabulous gathering of
It
wonderful
is
women
always.
from all over Orlando and Central Florida. We get together and have the best time. You can shop, you can network, and most of all, then we eat. This is my favorite thing. And but we have a lineup of guest speakers, of which Kim Hill will be one, sharing her story and introducing her book. And so we invite you to come out and be a part of it. We thank you, Kim, for joining us tonight.
Yes.
We're very, very,
Oh,
very, very happy about that.
yes.
Um, hey, Miss P. She says you look cutie, girl. She look cutie with that on her head. She says you look so cute. Kim says you look cute.
Thank you. I
Uh-huh.
didn't. Listen. I relaxed and laid my hair down. And I was gonna wrap it up and put a wrap on it, and do something creative with a wrap. And then I said, what the heck? Let me just do something crazy with it with my own hair. So this was a little necklace I picked up, at the thrift shop, and I was
Yes.
sitting here playing with it, and wasting some time, and I had it on my neck, and then I took it off. I said, let me put it up here on my head and see what's going on, how I feel.
I
And,
love it.
yeah, so I just went along with it. It's a necklace, though. It's a necklace.
I love it. Kim,
And
I told her she looks like Portia Williams. She looked like Portia. Uh-huh. She said, she said, well, you just cute, whatever, or whatever. You're cute. You're cute.
thank you.
So
Thank you, beautiful.
you can always check replay. You can go to Facebook at Raw Talk. You can go to YouTube at Real As Women Raw Talk and catch the beginning of the show. And what we talked about Dave Chappell tonight, and we also talked about the meaning or different definition of intersex. So whether you're watching on YouTube or Facebook, we invite you to please go to YouTube and subscribe, like, comment, share, and hit the notification bell. Do that on both platforms so that you'll always know whenever we go live, because sometimes we do it at a different time. But that was it, and that was all. We just wanted to share what we have been learning about the LGBTQIA community, and share the information about what intersex is. And we encourage you to do your own research on it. Just take a moment. You have your phone all the time, and when you go to the bathroom, when you're in the Oval Office taking care of the Constitution, just Google it and see what it says. These people who talk about what they went through, the horror, the torture, the agony that they went through as children going into adulthood, with all these different things going on in their body and people acting and treating and doing certain things to them, is really heartfelt and insightful. So
And like I
go
say,
and find out, expand your mind.
making fun of these people and making jokes, making the brunt of jokes and stuff. And like I said, a lot of times it leads to suicide of some of these kids and people. So it's not a joking matter. It's not a laughing matter. It's really serious. And like we said, you don't realize how serious it is until it hits home. To it's
Yeah.
your child that you're dealing with this issue about.
Yeah.
Parents, they a lot of the parents are members of the church, and they embarrassed and they feel ashamed and they want to beat the child and they want to, keep all kind of crazy things going on. They're gonna pray it out of them. They're gonna whoop it out of them. They're gonna get it out of them somehow or another. And you cannot do that. You have to nurture these kids. You have to encourage them. You find different organizations and networking people of same like the type of situations that they're going through. It's on the website where you can get in touch with these groups, and you can be a part of the conversation and help them through until they are mature enough and old enough to make some hard decisions about where they are and how they want to move and flow, and if it's right for them and whatever. But yeah,
Yes.
it's serious business. It's serious
It
business.
is.
And if you don't know, and like I said, I'm coming from a place that I don't know all there is to know about that community. And I love I always say I want MJ Harris to come on the show. I want him to be a friend of the show. I love
We're gonna
MJ
speak that
Harris.
into existence.
Yes, he'll tell it straight. He'll put it out there right, and he'll answer some questions honestly and openly, because he don't make no bones about who he is.
No.
He know who he is. He love who he is, and whoever don't accept who he is, that's on you. That's your problem. That's not my problem. Right.
Because he is laughing all the way to the bank.
All the way, girl.
All the way to the bank. He is very happy and pleased with himself.
Yeah.
And he's not looking for validation from anyone.
No,
and
ma'am.
and I think because of that, it makes him popular because he lives in his truth.
He
And
does. I think he
and
got a
doesn't
lip gloss line out. If I'm not mistaken, I seen him.
because he wears that lip gloss out, child. He always have him some lip gloss in his purse.
Yeah, he gonna tell you that he gonna put his lip gloss on, or he gonna tell you, excuse him because he not made up today. But he tell you what's up. Yeah. So he don't make no bones about it.
No, and
ain't no shame in
and
his game. So
he speaks truth. He speaks his truth. He speaks truth that applies to us, regardless of your sexual orientation. You know what he has to say about people in relationships is on point.
mm-hmm.
He's
his relationship advice is right on point. Yeah,
he is.
I haven't
maybe
looked at
we
him a
have
lot
to reach
lately,
out
but
to him.
I used to be an avid watcher of his podcast.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to reach out to him. That's
hey,
how he is.
MJ Harris, if you're out there looking, don't forget about the girls over here at Raw Talk. Come on
That's
through.
right. That's right. We want to
Come
be
on
your
through and hang out with us.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Just like I told you, you're gonna be my new best friend.
Yes, mine too.
So we're gonna tell you the same thing. You're gonna be our new best friend.
That's right.
Our new best friend. Well, all right, my love. Wednesdays, 9:00, Raw Talk Live on Facebook at Raw Talk, on YouTube at Real As Women Raw Talk. We want to thank all of our guests for being in the virtual building with us tonight. We love and appreciate you. Go forth and have a blessed week.
Yeah.